Okay, what I'm doing right now, you guys, is I'm getting the X fighters painted, and so now what I'm doing is I am making all the engines basically the same length, so that when they're painted and put on the X fighters, they look good. All right, now when you hand roll everything like I did yesterday, what happens is you get variances in the thicknesses of stuff. As you can see, that one engine is longer. Well, that much length, when you put it on a little body like the X Spider, you can see that difference really well. And so what I'm doing right now is I am making them all the exact same length or very close to it, so that once they're painted and they are on the X Fighter, they look really good. What I'm doing is I'm showing you how to build X Fighters. What I am doing with these engines, you have to do with the guns as well. Because when you're working with micro builds, you can see every little mess up that there is. What I am doing right now is I'm making all of the engines for these X Fighters all the same length, so that when you glue these in place where they're supposed to go, they will look correct. What I need to do is I need to paint these red. Brush paint everything with acrylic paint, because what it does is it lets your toys basically lets them look better, and it keeps them, since they're made out of paper, it keeps them pretty much waterproof. I am working on the engines for the X Fighters. There's 6 X Fighters. It's a squadron. And so that means I got to have 24 engines and 24 sets of guns, or I should say 24 guns, which is 6 sets each. There's 4 engines on every X Fighter. There is also 4 guns. I'm making X Fighters. This is what I'm making right now. And these are the engines to the X Fighters. They have to be painted, because you cannot put these on and then paint them. It won't work. I am painting the engines for the X Fighters right now. These X Fighters, anyone that builds model kits knows you have to paint a lot of your stuff way ahead of getting it all put together, because once you get it put together, you can't paint it. It's too small. Building a paper X Fighter. Now what I'm doing is I'm putting the detail paint. Here's the deal. With this type of work, you cannot change your paint scheme in the middle of it, because you better have it right the first time. And secondly, you cannot pull it apart. This stuff, the Elmer's glue, bonds so well to paper that you destroy whatever it is you're trying to take apart. So, I do not make those kind of errors. And if by some remote chance I do make that kind of an error, I'm stuck with it. There is no changing it up later. It when it's together, but your paint job will look horrible, because when these little pieces are glued in place, you can't paint them on the product. because you can't get underneath them, you can't get around the edges. There's just so much you cannot do. So you have to paint ahead of time. It's all part of the build process that you learn over time. Is mandatory with doing this stuff. It's something that is important. Now, I don't know if you can see this or not, but I'm standing as oh, that did not do good. As I paint these, I stand them on end because this paint on the end of this makes them a little bit sticky, and they will stand up. That way they will dry nice and smoothly. I am making the engines for the X-Fighters right now. So this is going to be a two-tone paint job, red and purple. So these are going to be very nice. Building right now is an X-Fighter. Okay? And that's what I'm doing all week, is I'm building a squadron of 6. Now I have to paint parts as I go, so that takes up part of your build time. I worked on it 4 hours yesterday, and that'll be another 4 hours today. It is giving me actually a really good time frame as to how much time it takes to build something like this. And the thing is, you want to build at least 3 of anything, because while parts are drying, you can be working on something else. This purple happens to be the accent color of what's going on here. As you saw yesterday, I built all of the chassis for these X-Fighters. You can't paint these when they're on. You have to paint everything like this off of what you're doing, and then you have to glue it on later. So once this paint is all dry, and I picked up all of the scuff marks, because wherever it lays down on the paper, when you take it off the paper, there's a scuff mark on the paint. You have to, you don't have to do anything with that, but it's a good idea if you want your toys or your art sculptures to be flawless. Yes, you could dip it in there, but because it's paper, you'd end up with too much paint on your part, and then the part wouldn't fit right. It is better to just paint your individual pieces and then put them in place when they're ready to go. Now, those have to dry. Wonder how dry they are. Are the engines to the X-Fighters. I am painting all the engines on the X-Fighters so that they look good when I glue them in place. My own 3D printer. I make all my own parts, and then I assemble them. This will let you build an X-Fighter. The only thing I don't have on this diagram is how to make the stand. You can make them any way you want. I make them like this. All right, this is just a straightened out paper clip. Makes an incredibly good stand, and they're tough. You can bend them around, they can do all kinds of different things. The only reason I did this is because you folks maybe would like to do this. So I'm showing you how to do this. Now, what am I doing now? All right. Okay, guys, now we're at this point right here. This is the gun template for making the 24 cannons on the X-Fighter. Now, like the engines, I need 24 of these guns. What I'm doing right now is I am just squaring these up a little bit, making them more uniform, so that when I put these together, they look better. Thing I've noticed is this is not completely square, and so I'm having to do some adjustments on it. Now what I've done is I just squared these up and made them more uniform. This had to be cut back in here a little bit because this edge was longer than this one. And same with this side over here was longer than this one from this point out. And so now that I have that cured, I can start tracing these things out and getting them ready to build. Where I'm at right now is I'm at the stage where I need to make the X-Wing guns. I should say the X-Fighter guns. Numbered 1, 1, 1, and 1. That is the number 1 X-Fighter. These will be number 2. These together this way, side by side and back to back, etc. When you make this cut here, you're cutting 2 pieces at one cut. It saves you a lot of work. Also, it saves you paper because you're using up the most paper in the smallest area that there is to possibly do. There, same with the engines. There was 3 sets on that first row. Now I make a second row. All right, the second row, we have to use this ruler. Okay, just there like that. Make sure that's in good standing. And we do a line. When I cut this off of here, it's going to separate the 6 different guns. Now, I should say 6 different cutouts for the guns. I've got 3 more pattern tracings, and the X-Fighter guns are finished. Well, they're finished drawing, I should say. I have to cut them all out, and then I have to roll them up. I have a special needle just for the guns. There is all 6 X-Fighters, the guns. Now, with this being done, I put it away so it doesn't get lost. So if I ever want to do these again, I have all the templates in one nice, neat little spot. Now, these little chunks got to come out of these. That way, when you roll them up on your needle, they graduate down like a regular gun barrel does. These are going to be the guns on the X-Fighter. See how they taper down from the engine point? Well, that's what these are. Once I get these all done, then I have to take and roll them up on this needle. Okay, this needle is the diameter I need to make the guns work. This needle was the diameter for the engines. There is the very first gun ready to twist up. Now I'll show you how this works. Now you have to make sure this twists up straight, because this is so long that it can walk off if you do not twist it up properly. By doing this, what I have allowed to happen is now I can twist these up on here, and when it's rolled up, I can slide it off this end, and it will not deform the gun. And you just have to squeeze this down like this, and roll it, and it'll start rolling right onto there. Then what you do is you just add a little bit of glue to this. Now this is where the dental tool comes in handy. Now I can bring the glue away from where I'm going to be twisting it up at. You just very carefully roll it up. And what this does is it pushes the glue ahead of what you're doing. Right. That is one gun twisted up. I got to do this 24 times. Now that comes right off of there just like that. You have to be very careful not to crush them, because at this point in time they're soft and squishy. What I have to do is I have to cut all the rest of these. That's one part. Now I got to do this 23 or 22 more times. Like the evening show coming up in 2 hours and a half. Not even. Yeah, 2 hours and 15 minutes roughly. I will be twisting up all of these guns. That means tomorrow, Wednesday, I should be able to get them all painted. And probably by Thursday, I should start assembling the X-Fighters. Now, as you can see, these are graduated. They step down 3 times, which when they're painted makes for a very cool looking build. Suggest always to make, when you're doing micro machines, make no less than 3 of them. I suggest 6, because the thing with 6 of them is, as you're building one, you might realize a little bit better way of cutting out a part for another one, or changing one of your parts to fit better with what you're doing. All right. There. Weapon number 2. Hey guys, we're down to the last minute. Means I can't twist up any more of these. I have got to go.